Cepi follows the European regulative development very closely. How do you see which direction European packaging is going to?
In regulation, it's been a big problem since the beginning. So there's been a packaging directive in Europe for almost 30 years now. And unfortunately, packaging has always been slightly misunderstood, like being some kind of evil thing that you should control and limit or remove if possible completely. And that tendency is not gone. So I think if you stop any policymaker or politician in Brussels and ask them about packaging, they would say that their aim is to reduce packaging. Mm-hmm. So that's still there. There's also now in this work that is ongoing in Brussels that there's a revision of this packaging directive that is expected actually by the end of November. There's a big tendency to push for more reuse, so reusable packaging. Basically systems where you use the same packaging over and over again and you just refill it again as a consumer or it's sent back for filling by the businesses. So that kind of tendency probably will be, you can expect from the revision of the packaging directive to have a bigger role and then potentially quite revolutionary role for the packaging systems that we have in the place. And it would be, of course, very sad if that would be somehow disturbing or even disrupting the very well functioning recycling systems of fibre-based packaging. We are the strongest recycler in packaging. We have the highest recycling rate of all packaging materials. Mm. So we are over 80% already, which is meaning that we met the legally binding targets many years ahead of the legal deadline that we have been given. Unlike many other materials, they haven't been able to meet the legal targets as well as we have. And in volumes, we are recycling alone as much as all the packaging materials combined. Mm. And this means that we are a real champion in circularity. Mm. But what champions do is that they always aim higher. So we are also, of course, not happy with this good performance, but we still want to increase and improve. But this reuse challenge that we get from the revision of the packaging directive will be potentially then also disrupting the good work done, and we are a bit worried about that. And in general, the reduction of packaging. So if you talk to the politicians, they think that the best packaging is the one that didn't exist.
It's pretty tricky. We should always keep in mind that the aim of the purpose of the packaging is to protect the contents. Some simple products, the environmental impact of packaging may rise up to 5 to 6%, for example. And now when we are talking about very, very simple products such as like cereals or oatmeals or something like that. But when we go to more complex products that we protect with packaging, then the role of packaging from the environmental impact is very minimal. And therefore it is a shame that the main worry is about packaging. Of course, it matters from the volume perspective that you make good choices regarding the packaging materials. They should be renewable and they should be also recyclable, but still it's good to keep in mind that what is the main purpose of that.
Absolutely. If you have food waste that could be avoided with well-designed packaging, then it absolutely is always balancing out the impact of having to have that additional packaging. So that's obvious. But also for obvious things like if you buy some electronics and it comes well packed and the device that you bought is still functioning when you get it and it's not broken in transport, then it makes all sense. We still can improve, and then we have been improving. I think if you would have you mentioned cereals, so if you would have the same brand and the same packaging of cereals from 20 years ago and 30 years ago and then compared to today's packaging, I think you would see the difference. So there's a huge tendency for lighter grammages, so the same functionalities are made with less material. And then that's already very positive, and that I think we can still advance. There's a lot of innovation and advancing in material technology that we can do more with less. And fiber packaging in that has a key role as well to play. And then there's a huge development in the additional functionality. So the same packaging is smarter and better designed and does more things for the consumers without necessarily the consumer knowing it, of course.
Unconscious benefits are coming from good packaging material choices.